Hey, what's up, everybody? Back with you here for another Tech Talk Live show, brought to you by TykeSupply.com. Glad to have them back as a full sponsor for at least another 6 months. TykeSupply.com. If you decide, let me adjust this audio. I was going to say, if you decide to check them out and decide to buy one of their monitor arms or stands for your monitor array for your trading setup, use that RPM code and you get an extra 5% off when you go to checkout. It might not sound like a lot, 5%, but keep in mind, they're selling monitor stands that you'd expect to pay a couple $100 for, often, for $60, $69, $79, $89, and free shipping and handling. Stuff is really nice. Bare bones, just good quality, strong, no bells and whistles, just nice stands. I've been using their stuff for probably 6 or 7 years now, and but you can get an extra 5% off already low price. TykeSupply.com. And again, I want to thank them for their support. So, how's everybody doing in the Day Train Radio chat room? I see the Learjet in there. Good to see him. Tyke Supplies supplied him with a Learjet, special Learjet stand just for him. That's right, Helio. Brand new RPM. That's right. Show must go on, right? No, everything's good, guys, and we appreciate you guys joining us. This is going to try to make this a nice little short video. We're going to recap some of the video cards and stuff that we've been... that's probably the number one question. I had 3 people ask me about video cards today. And I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not a computer builder, so I don't build a computer, every day, or every week or whatever. So, and these things change all the time. Let me talk about one cool thing though in the news that I just gotta say. Google Chrome is now here's a message from Johnny. It's gotta be here. Hang on just a minute, guys. And it was. Johnny, just listening to my rant. No, man, all good, John. Everything's good, man. Google Chrome now is like the number one browser. I just think that's cool. And, I mentioned that this morning. That Johnny said something about it on the air too. And I just can't believe it because Internet Explorer, is the base browser, on all our Windows systems right out of the box, right? And then we had Firefox for how long, right? Had Firefox for so long. And Chrome seemed to come out of nowhere. And where I'm thinking, it's my favorite browser too. So it's built on Apple's WebKit, which is pretty cool. So the Apple, what do they call it? Safari is pretty much the same thing, as Google's Chrome. The engine that is underneath it is the same. That says a lot about Apple, and their product is kind of weird how Google and Apple happen to be using something similar, but Chrome, I'm thinking the reason why they have the market share now is probably because everyone uses Google, or so many people use Google for their search engine, right? So if they use it for their search engine, how if you go to Google with Internet Explorer or Firefox, you'll see that button on the right hand side that says download a faster browser or something like that. It's a big old blue button that says download Chrome now, and there's the Limey in the room there mentioning it because it's the fastest JavaScript engine. Also it has, but I'm thinking the market share wise, I'm thinking that's probably how they gained it, because so many people go to Chrome to use it for the search engine. They see that, so they try it, and that's amazing. Amazing way to market it, right, and get some fast market share. But it also has built-in Flash. If fan of Flash or not, our shows are done through Flash Player. One of our chat rooms is runs on Flash. It's not the best thing in the world, but it is pretty cool, like little app that goes along, stacked on top of the browser. And a lot of people have adopted it and use it. Let's face it, right? Um, but Chrome does have Flash built in. It's native to the Chrome binary. It's already built in, updates itself, which is pretty cool. It's lightweight, it's fast, it's got plenty of features. One of the things that I like about Chrome is that you can sign up for a sync account, and when you do the sync account thing, it'll store all your passwords, all your bookmarks, your all your settings, your form filled data, with some of the other stuff, the cookies, passwords, like I was saying, all your settings, and they synchronize when next time you log in from another computer. So you could log in from an entirely different browser on a different computer, not a different browser, but Chrome on a different computer, and boom, all your bookmarks, your folders, everything, your history, everything is there for you. And I like that. You can recover, save passwords and all that stuff. It's all stored on your Google account, which I like that. And they've had that for a while. And Firefox has that too. And so I like that. But definitely, if you guys have not tried Google Chrome yet, it's not like one of those corny, goofy, geeky things that only a few people try now. It is now the browser of choice. It is no longer something that's corny. So Internet Explorer no longer has the market share anymore. So there you go, right? And that's right, Limey's saying it's fast. It's the fastest one, and it's got plenty of features and lots of cool stuff. And it makes me feel better too, because as a web producer on some projects that we're doing, we can kind of look at it in Chrome first, which I do anyways. And if it looks good in Chrome, at least you don't have to say, well, wow, we're only covering 5% of the market now. We got to look at it Internet Explorer and Firefox. Yeah, you do. But if you're looking at it Chrome first, at least you're covering the big one to start with, right? So, hey, it's all good. It's a good browser. Google deserves it, I think, and then also too, Firefox is also good. And Internet Explorer has gotten better. I honestly think that, the three major browsers competing against each other, it's all good for all of us because we have something to choose from, and competition creates, healthy innovation. Healthy competition creates innovation, creates competition, and we win from it. I think it's great, So that's enough about Chrome. Congratulations to Google Chrome, Google's browser. On that. Now, let's move on to, and I can't play any music tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I just got a song request, but we can't play any music tonight because if I try to upload this to YouTube, they'll smack it, and that's not good. So we'll just try to get through this video here, and about video cards and about tech stuff only, and we'll make it nice and sweet and short. If you guys want me to pause after we're done with this little show, I could do that. Maybe come back on, put music back on or whatever for you guys, and we could just talk about whatever. Maybe talk about auto engines and stuff. But let's see here. So I've got an email tonight from Charles. It says, what video card do I need to run 2560 by 1440? Now, that's a fat resolution, by the way. And what do you think about this monitor? There are some good YouTube video reviews. Quad HD 2560 1440 60 by 9 27-inch monitor, tempered glass here. And here he's got me a link here. This is Charlie, Prolonged Wealth. Prolonged Wealth, I'm sure. You know what? It's not a bad price either. I thought these things were a lot more. And there it is right there off of eBay. It looks like you can buy one for $300. So that's a 27-inch, so that's a good size screen. This is brand new. Here's the item number, the model number right here. Okay, so this is like a 16 by 9, 2560 by 1440. So that's QHD. Most of you guys already know this, but regular HD is going to run 1920 resolution, right? 1920 by 1080, and that's like that standard 16 by 9 1080 resolution, right? That's like what all the standard not standard the standard HD television is, right? And a lot of the monitors run at that, right? But I've never heard of this brand. Does have the mount. You know, this is a whole nother ball game here. This is twice the width and twice the height of a standard resolution 1080. I did not know these things had gotten this inexpensive. To be honest with you, quite honest with you, I did not know. I thought these things run, $800. There's 333, 317, 382. So there's a bunch of sellers on eBay that have it. All right, so let's. Tonight we're doing some shopping, answering some emails. Okay, here's a review. Let's see.
Hey guys, this is Swift here, and this is the consumer review of the budget 27-inch SIPS Korean monitors. These monitors are available in Korea for quite some time already, but has recently been hyped up over the internet after being found on eBay for a rather amazing price. These are budget 27-inch monitors that uses the LG SIPS panels, and these panels are, what I found out is that we have people saying that these panels are basically the same ones as those that are found in your Apple Cinema display. So we have various different brands that are priced within the same price range, so we all categorize them as these budget IPS Korean monitors. And the main difference between the different brands is basically the overall build quality and the monitor stand and the overall design of the monitor, slightly like how thick and thin of the bezel is and stuff like that. But the panels used in all these different various brands are basically the same thing. So the one I have here is a brand called Achiever, and the product is called Shimian. So within these different brands itself, we have different products, different variations of these IPS monitors, such as some comes with speakers, some with a tempered glass like mine here. This has a tempered glass over it, and there's also the more expensive option to have multiple inputs. So why at the start I call this a consumer review, because I don't have any professional tools with me to tell you, give you solid proof like statistics over the color reproduction and stuff like that. And so I'll just give you my perspective as a consumer, a person who have just bought the monitor. The monitor itself, as you can see, is absolutely brilliant. The colors are really vibrant. I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but it really looks really very good. And the resolution of 2560 by 1440 is absolutely amazing. The extra screen estate that you have to work with is something that everyone would love to have. So these monitors are cheap for its range, and I can tell you right now straight off, it's currently priced at around 300, 320, 300 to around 400 for the other type of brands, US dollars, free shipping worldwide. So the shipping is by FedEx itself, and it's really quick. All sellers ship out their monitors really quickly, and you receive it in no time. So with that said, these monitors are absolutely amazing for its price and value. Cut the video out. The video didn't load. I had it preloaded, and when I click start again, it had to load again. So never mind. I'll just let you take a look at the monitor. I'll I'll take the camera off, the video camera off the stand, and let you take a look at the monitor. Don't mind the messy room. It's just a very small room with lots of stuff. So give me a second. Well, I get you off the stand. Okay, so as you can see, I'll show you the viewing angle. Absolutely amazing. You can still see it here, and you can see quite a lot of reflections because of the tempered glass. And this the surface of this panels itself is glossy, so you should be facing quite a lot of reflections anyway, but not much. You can control them. As you can see, the amazing viewing angles. Absolutely amazing. So let you take a look at the stand. Really basic. The brand here, you can see here. So I'll just show you, I'll turn off the monitor for a while and you can look at the surface. As you can see, the reflections are quite a bit. There's this tempered glass here. For the non-tempered glass, you can see that there's this depression a slight depression into the panel itself. So these monitors are really budget, in the sense that, I don't know if you can see it, basically you only have a DVI input, one dual DVI input, and that's basically all you have. And the problems that people have would face with these monitors is basically the fact that you face the problem of the lack of warranty and any kind of support really. If you want to claim your warranty or anything, you would have to send them back to Korea, which is going to be kind of expensive. Yep. So for my panel, I had I found one dust particle behind the screen, which isn't too much of a problem, and a few, I don't know, but a few like dead pixels. So you have to be mentally prepared that these panels are not guaranteed to have absolutely no dead pixels, and if you want to have a full refund, you would have to have at least 5 or more dead pixels, and you have to pay the cost of shipping it back to the sellers in Korea, which is going to cost quite a bit as well. So this is the panel.
Alright, so at least we got an introduction to that one.
And
Now we're on to something here. Prolonged Wealth has sent me another YouTube video. Looks like the same monitor
On
basically.
a super high performance car like the V, the larger grille openings feed more air to the supercharged engine and Brembo brakes, which is good. Because as stunning as it looks on the outside, it's even better on the inside.
So you guys do know what IPS stands for, right? In-plane system.
I need all of the pixels. I need all
Usually
of them
the angles are
in
good.
my display.
Let's listen to what this guy's got to
As
say.
far as 27-inch goes, there's some ton of 27-inch monitors out there, but most of those are like 1920 by 1080. They're 1080p. I need more pixels, people, especially in a big monitor. When you get a big monitor and it's only got 1080p, what's that all about? Looks terrible. So what are the options? We got the Dell. What is it, the U2711? U2711, we've got the Apple Cinema display, and the Apple iMac 27-inch. Those are the few options that are out there. Now the Dell, that's a matte finish. It looks really nice. It's expensive, very expensive. You got the Apple. It's an Apple. It's a glossy display, and you're going to pay the Apple price. Then we've got this one, the Achivia Shimian. Now this thing's been going crazy on the internet. If you go to overclock.net, there's a club. Everyone's getting these things. They're talking about, like how, like some people got a good one, some people got a bad one. I think there's an even bigger club on HardOCP. So I wanted to make a video showing the monitor, talking about it a little bit. These are essentially Apple Cinema displays that have been rejected. Apple only takes A+ displays. When you're a multi-gazillion-dollar company with pockets as deep as the Nile River, how deep is the Nile River? It's pockets as wide as the Nile River. You could just walk into the factory and be like, I like this one, that one, throw that one away, give that one to Shimeon, shimmy that one on out of here. You get the picture. So these are, I can't really tell what's wrong with this. Wendell, can you see anything, have you seen anything wrong with this?
No, we went over it and we couldn't find anything.
Yeah, let me go through the specs of this. The price shipped for this was $350. $350 shipped from Korea. 2560 by 1440. All of the pixels. Two websites here. That's the old website and the new website. Okay, the new website 1140. The old one's 960. We've moved up to the 1140 because everyone's getting big monitors like this. We've got both of those on there, and there's still margin on the side. All of the pixels. Must have all of the pixels. Anyway, so I couldn't be happier with this one. I've seen a few people that got bad ones in the mail that have lines or something, or some of them that won't turn on. A lot of that was fixed by changing the DVI cable. You do need a dual link DVI cable, a standard DVI cable. It won't work because it's 2560 by 1440. 2560. All right, let's talk about the specifications. The resolution, 2560 by 1440. Now, the specs are kind of hit and miss depending on the display you get. The resolution is always 2560 by 1440.
It's higher resolution than the new iPad.
It is higher resolution, but the new iPad is very little. That's better technology.
Higher resolution than iDef, but this is higher resolution than that.
Yeah, it's not quite 4K, but anyway, it only has one dual-link DVI port in the back, and that pretty much plugs straight into the panel. That gets rid of your latency, like when you have to switch between, or when the monitor has to go like, oh, what's plugged in? Oh, the DVI. Okay, great. So there is no, oh, what's plugged in? Oh, the DVI. It just goes, DVI is plugged in all the time. It's serious business. Also, what else? It's 6 millisecond response time. Gaming on this thing in videos, movies, 6 milliseconds is not bad. I mean, I've got an Asus floating around somewhere with 2 millisecond response time, but I think the color and the contrast looks better on this one. So, I mean, it is a rejected Apple Cinema display. And those guys don't mess around when it comes to light color. It is 32-bit color, of course. The contrast ratio is 1,000 to 1. And this one is 60 hertz. It's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to the refresh rate, because some people are getting these things and plugging them in and they're like, oh, it's 100 hertz. Oh, it's 90 hertz or whatever. I don't know. This one is 60 hertz. And there's some people talking online, if you order a different PCB, you can put it in there and modify it and possibly overclock the panel to 120 hertz. And some people are getting them straight out of the box and they're like, oh my God, it's 120 hertz. So it's kind of hit and miss. Also, as far as the controls go on this, you really don't have any. There's like 6 buttons on the back, and I was like, ooh, buttons, I love buttons. And you press the buttons, they don't do anything. It's just that the chassis that they've got this in is sort of a generic chassis. There's even 2 speaker spots in the back, like where speakers would normally be. There's no speakers in there. No. I mean, I guess you could put speakers in there. Sort of a do-it-yourself monitor. I don't know.
It's got on and off and brightness
Yeah.
up and brightness down.
Yeah, just on-off brightness, and you do the rest of it with the drivers, I guess. So just do it live!
But that's lower input latency for games.
Yes, it is lower input latency. People are raving about this thing for StarCraft, even though StarCraft scales. I don't know. I'm raving about it for Skyrim. I'm pretty shocked. So there it is, the Shimeon. If you guys want to grab one, I'll throw some links to places you can grab one on Tech Syndicate. You can check it out there. The link will be in the description of the video. All in all, I'm really happy with the display. Wendell, you have anything that you want to add? It's got a standard Visa mount. The base.
All right, so that's pretty cool. Delamy, he's not too impressed with the monitor, I guess. For $350, if it's basically a quad HD, that's a reject LG screen or a B type of deal. I don't see anything wrong with it. Somebody gets a good one for $300. I like it. Worth a try. Honestly, I think. Interesting concept though, but some people saying, what good is, what's wrong with it? I have a 24-inch I paid $149 for. What's better about a 27-inch, just a couple more inches? Well, it's twice the resolution. So how can I, more charts, 2 websites side by side. It's not that you want like a photograph to look more, more detailed. on one screen. It's not necessarily for that. It's because the native resolution is twice as big. So it's like taking four 16 by 9 1920 by 1080 screens, I guess, right? And or is it like, no, it's two of them, 720 tall plus 720 is your 1440, right? And then your 2568 wide, which is twice the 1920. Is that right? So size always matters, Anthony's saying. So it's basically twice the resolution, right? And that's a good thing. That's good, So I mean, I'd be interested in finding out if you guys try one. Let us know what you get from it. And here's we're asking, what video card. Charlie's asking what would handle it. Now, I think there's a lot of cards out there that will handle the higher resolution. Am I correct, guys? Now, I'm shopping right here in front of you live. First of all, I want to mention a card that, and I did not hear back from our member, but there is a card, and let me get over to the Trader Zone. By the way, Day Trading Radio has a nice Trader Zone now. It's a forum, and you can get to it by clicking the forum link underneath the video. And there's a section in here that I put in for the Computer Tech Zone. And I've got a little thing here for all things tech. Let me see. Where's the one with... Okay, let's see. Tech Talk Live. Here we go. All right. And there was a couple of things in here we covered on the Tech Talk Live shows. And I posted a link, and let me try to find it. We are in the forum right here. I want to thank Learjet and Gas and Trade for Pay, everyone that is helped in. Hey, what's up, Vester? Everyone has helped in the forum. Here's the video cards to consider. Here's an ATI. It's a FirePro 2465 12 megabyte PCI Express X16 low profile workstation video card, $234.99. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. That's a lot of money. You could just get like a GT430 for $59 with free shipping and be done with it. And that would work. This is a 5-port card, everybody. This is a 5-port card. It's $234. And it has 5 ports on it. And it's low profile. So this would actually go in a low profile machine with a half height, like a 2-space rack mount unit. You would change the adapter plate, of course, to the smaller half height, adapter plate. Now, what's good about this one, I'm gonna zoom in here. 234 might sound a little high, but it covers 5 screens, and that's a lot of money if you got plenty of spaces on your motherboard. But what if you only have 1 space on your motherboard? This one takes up 1 space, handles 5 screens. Actually, that has 4 ports. Why is that one showing 4 and that one's showing 4? Why was I thinking this was 5? Oh, there's another one that's a 5. I'm sorry. It's not 5. It is 4. 4 screens. I apologize. Got that wrong. It handles 4. And what these are, still for $234 and to take over 1 space, you know what? You can deal with that, right? It's not too terribly expensive, considering it handles 4 spots for you. It does use the DisplayPort dongles, and it looks like they come out of the factory. In the box, it looks like DVI adapters, DVI to DisplayPort adapters. So you have the little mini DisplayPort, or actually full-size DisplayPort, on this particular card, and you have those little dongles that take care of the 4 connections. I apologize. 4 cards. There is a 5th one. There is one that handles 5. And I was mistaken about that. So one of our members at Day Trading Radio sent me a link and sent me an email. And in that email, it was about the one that handles 5. So no, the Lamy, I don't think it's going to handle 2560 by 1440. That's a heavy duty resolution there. So why don't we do this? So we'll look at the specs on this thing. It may, let's see, 512 megs of RAM, which isn't a whole lot. 4 times mini display point. It says the digital resolution 2560 by 1600. Handles Windows Vista 64 and 32, Windows XP. Does not mention Windows 7, but the Windows Vista 64-bit drivers will work in Windows 7. It's not going to be a gaming card, you know. But it would probably be fine for trading. Here's some examples of some other ones here. You see what happens when you try to get into something a little heavier. Here's a single PCI Express with 4 ports for $700 almost. So you can see it is a bargain at $234 for a standard trading machine. It should work. Now, would you try to run 4 machines at the full resolution? You're probably going to be pretty much making little Smokey's going to be puffing hard. All right, so he's going to be struggling. I would not do that. If you just wanted to have 2, and I'll show you the card that I like. It is the GT 430. I'm using these right now on this machine. They're inexpensive. They're $69. You can either get the GT 430. There's a 530, I believe, which is nice. Made by EVGA. And my cat's trying to chew a hole in the wall. It's $69. I like these cards. They do have a fan. They take up one space. That's what it looks like. And they are in stock at Newegg. They have 36 reviews, 5 stars. I use these things like crazy. I've put them in all my systems. 2 DVI connections. There's also a mini HDMI. It takes the place of one of the other 2. Let's look at the details here. 1 gig of RAM. 2560 by 1600. Does have a fan. It'll give you a dual output. So that would handle 2 screens right there. Inexpensive card. I will drop a link back to you there, Prolong. I think that's worth a shot. Those are what I'm using now. I'm not running them at a high resolution like that. So right now, those are our 2 cards of choice. I'm going to reply to this post I put in the forum with that link as well. Let's see. And I got our buddy Warbucks at Whiplash PC has also recommended this card heavily. I believe it's what Johnny has in several of his computers, or at least one of his computers. He has several of them in there. And there the post in the forum right there. All right, this is the trader zone for those out there on the outside looking in. And there we have a blog section. There's a trader spotlight I posted last night with FT71s private to the members. There's some support resistance numbers from May 23rd from Trade for Pay. There's Learjet with his watch list he did over the weekend, or actually just a day ago. So yeah, over the weekend, or at the end of. And there's some more stuff from Trade for Pay. We have a forum with all sorts of goodies in here, and I've marked them all red for myself. As you can see, there's one that shows up with a new thing in it, which is the one that I just put in there. But it's taken off nice and slow. We got it growing. We just need to water it and keep it fed. We appreciate you guys participating in that. Don't give up on that thing. If you have something you want to search for it. There's a search engine inside there. There's lots of cool tips for the using the chat room. Chat room lingo, chat room commands, bot commands, explanations, things like that. And if you've got something you'd like to add, just put it in there. Hey, Charlie, appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you, too. I appreciate you stopping by and watching the show. Good content. Let us know, please, how to, feel free to email me, too, during the week or whatever, if you get your hands on one of those screens. I think it's a cool concept. You're buying an Apple Cinema display that another Korean company is basically taking some of the seconds, that maybe aren't perfect, and they've taken them and put them in like a generic box. All it matters is that you get it out of the box, you plug it in, it looks beautiful. It's yours. That's all it matters is what it looks like. It's not like you're going to be pushing buttons constantly every day. You're going to set it up, you're going to plug it in. If it looks good, it looks good. It should, in theory, be the same thing as the Apple Cinema display, with the possibility of a couple dead pixels on it somewhere in the corner, or a tiny little scratch on it somewhere. But you're getting the performance, hopefully of the high-end piece, with a fraction of the cost. Because I think those Apple Cinema displays, what are they, like $2,000? Something like that. So, anyways, go for it, man. I'm right behind you if it works good. I've got a location downstairs that I wanted to set up a machine, and that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect for that. All right, so some of the general questions here. And by the way, for those out there that just joined us, if you guys make sure you check out Johnny's Day Trader Rockstar posted a Market Radar video on the YouTube. So make sure you guys check that out. Of course, if you're watching this as a repeat, that may not be the case because it's Tuesday, May 22nd right now. I need to give a big shout out to TykeSupply.com. Use RPM code, RPM as your code in the checkout if you decide to buy some stands from TykeSupply.com. They've been a great sponsor now. This will be 2 years in the next 3 months. It will be 2 years for them, I believe. So big shout out to TykeSupply.com. Appreciate their support. Lots of people, Day Trading Radio members, have bought Tyke Supply stands. I've got them all over my office. I got one going in the camper. Just everyone I know that has one likes them. Do you absolutely have to have a stand? You know what? If you've got 4, 5, or 6 monitors that are side by side, all sitting on the desk, no, you do not. You can just use the standard stands that come with your monitors. But you know what? If you're stacking them up kind of high, kind of like what I'm doing, because I'm limited on space here. Let's see if I can show you. Here's a picture back in 1st of March, right there. So if you're gonna, I give you an example. I mean, if you are gonna put screens up here on a second level, you need some way to mount them, right? And then if you're gonna make a third, there's a piece of a Tyke Supply stand right there that I've got going on. And they're modular. You can take them apart and come up with kind of cool looking modifications and everything, where you put all the pieces together and come up with some pretty crazy stuff. So anyways, that's an office picture back a couple months ago, I guess it was. And I sit in this chair right here on the left. These are 422s, all on one Tech Supply quad stand. This right here is it's three 23s, Asus 23s. Over here is a 20-inch IPS Dell Ultra Sharp. There's another Ultra Sharp right here. These two are identical. These three are identical. These four are identical. These three are identical, and these two are identical. And all are on Tech Supply stands, except for these three over here that are just crammed in the corner there. But anyways, that's the setup there from a few months ago. Pretty much everything's the same, just a little bit more gunk in the office. But the Tech Supply stands make that possible, and believe it or not, there's less than $300 worth of stands and all that. And okay, let's see. Avestor. All right. So, question: how many video cards am I using to run the 12 screens? Actually, it's 14 screens. The system on the right-hand side is one Dell laptop. It's a Dell Latitude D630. My wife usually uses that. It's got a port replicator it plugs into built that basically taps both a VGA source and a DVI source. So that takes care of that. On the far left of that screen you just saw, there are four 22-inch screens. The bottom two, along with well, I'll tell you what. Let me put the picture back up, and I'll try to explain to you what I'm doing, because I got to think about it here. And nowhere near, it's definitely not optimized. I mean, I could do better. But this is just kind of the way my layout is. I have to have multiple computers for different reasons and stuff, so isolations and things like that. These two over here, the Dell D630 from my wife. Two screens connected into that laptop that's on a drawer system right here. It's one of these. These three screens right here are connected to a server that's right here that does my server monitoring and some basic network health and stuff like that. These three, along with this one up top here, which has this weather radar on it and CNBC, this one, and this one are all on one, or on two video cards and a little server down here in this rack. These are separate. These are on one laptop, so that leaves these 8. Out of these 8, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one are all the primary machine I'm broadcasting from right now. That is 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards. So I've got 3 cards in there. It's the GT 430s that I just posted in the forum. The $69 cards. There's 3 of those stacked in there in that computer, in my primary computer, which is down here, right down here. This one again goes with these 3. That leaves these 2. Over here on the left is a separate computer that I use just for Mr. Land and the Trader's audio feed and the Crickets and Popcorn. And that digitally feeds into a digital mixer that's down here in the rack. This one right here is another separate computer that I use just for the chat room and to watch the broadcast coming back to me. The broadcast coming back to me is just so I can make sure that the broadcast is still going, everything's good, right? And the chat room right here, so I can look up. I'm sitting here at this chair. I just look up and to the left, and I can see you guys in the chat and talk to you guys in the chat. That is on a separate laptop all by itself, which is this second Dell D630 right here. So to answer your question, the primary machine right here takes care of 6 HD, 1920 by 1920 by 1080 screens. That is 3 cards in that one machine, and they're dual cards each. You have, which is these four plus these 2. These right here is a separate machine, single monitors on each. This one right here goes with 2 double video cards, which are in this server, and the other 3 that go with it is that one, that one, that one, and that one, and then this one's separate. Hope that makes sense. I got it right. The way I stitch all of them together as far as a mouse and keyboard, the way I do that is with a little product called Input Director. And if you guys have been part of Day Trading Radio long enough, you have heard me talk about InputDirector.com. It's absolutely totally free, awesome mouse and keyboard stitching software. It allows you to use one mouse on your primary master machine, and you hook up your rest of your computers are connected as slaves on your network, and they are enabled so they can the mouse. Yes, InputDirector.com. Vestor's got it. Director. Yep. Absolutely awesome tool. The only disadvantage to it is platform specific to Windows only. It's really not hard. I move my mouse. You know what? Let me do this. Let me launch my cell phone app, and I will show you guys how I can move my mouse from screen to screen. And nobody needs a setup like this except for me. I mean, I don't expect anybody. It's just forget it. But a lot of this is just to prove that it can happen. Okay, there's a little product here called IP Webcam Start Server. All right, you guys have seen my wireless camera, right? Now I pull it up on the browser. 192.180.80. And how do I connect? Which basically is the IP address. Ooh, that's really weird. Just give me a 10 range. Really strange. Alright, we'll try it. Hello. Whoa. I don't think this is going to work. It's giving me some weird IP. Oh, okay. See what I did wrong. Yeah, it's not. This is a wrong IP address here. Oh, you know what? I see what's wrong. I do not have Wi-Fi turned on. Bear with me, guys. I have an Android phone and a little app called IP Webcam. I love it. But you have to have the Wi-Fi turned on, obviously. So we're doing that now. Hey, what's up, Russ? Yeah, you're with me. JD, we got Input Director working on his rig. That's right, and he's got Macs and stuff too. But the ones he wanted to, the ones he wanted to hook up were the Windows-based machines, I believe. There's another product called, oh man, what is that thing called? Oh, I used to use it. Synergy, which will connect your Macs, Linux boxes, BOS, Windows, of course. Okay, here we go. All right, It just did give me a new IP. Here we go. All right, here we go. Now, for whatever reason, this ain't in widescreen. And it should be. Let me find out why. No, it's still not widescreen. Why is it not widescreen? Hold on. Options. Just a minute, guys. Oh, resolution is too small. Let's see, 720 by 480. Start server. Let me try this one here. No, still not widescreen. Why is it doing that to me? All right, one more time. Somebody, let's see, 720 by 40, 720 by 586. That's even farther from wide. 768 by 5. 4C, 725. Gotta get the widescreen here. Resolution. Quality, orientation, landscape. Use for FPS for port. I have a widescreen camera. 720 by 4. Okay, we'll try this one then. Trying to figure out my ratios here. That's still not. What the heck? Yeah, it's not widescreen. I don't know why. Anyways, all right. So what we're gonna do, just to sake of time here, I'm gonna zoom in on this for you guys so you can see what's going on, and it won't be complete full screen, but it'll work, I guess, right? All right. So we'll keep it at the top there. Hopefully you guys can see it. That's my desk, obviously. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. Some of these screens I'm not even hardly using, but anyhow, let me back up and give you guys an idea what the office looks like here. If I'm all the way back on the other side here, so I can't go back too much more. My wire is kind of, as you can see, about ready to pull out, but there's the 4 that are all the same monitors but hooked up to one computer at the bottom along with these 4, and then the 2 screens over there at the top, 2 different computers. And then up there you can see the TV's on and the weather and the radar and all that. That monitor is connected to these 3 with some monitoring stuff. Okay. All right. So let me show you here. I'm gonna grab my mouse, right, and I'm gonna show you guys. You guys can see all the way over. You can see my mouse right there. Now that's one computer. This is an entirely different computer. Back to this computer. Look here, back to this computer. This is the same computer here. You can see by the mouse it doesn't have like a little thing that pops up around it, right? You see that? But if I go up here, you'll see it gives that little thing that tells you where it's at. See? When it goes between computers, and moves from one computer to another, it gives you that thing there. So watch now. This one is a different computer than this one. See? Here's our chat room right here. Right? Okay, I can hop back down to this computer, and of course this computer right here is the same. These are the same computer. This is the same computer. Over to this one, where my mixer and stuff is. This is the same computer. And this is the same computer. That's the one we're broadcasting with. Back over to this one. And as I go up here, it's going to get into an entirely different computer. Boom. And a brand new computer. That's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 computers now. And then I'm going to go over here, and then it's going to take me into this one. As you can see it right there against the black, right? Can you see that? This one, and then this one. So basically 12 screens. 12 screens. I got most of my software shut off right now. It's not connected to that one. There's my boy. One keyboard, one wireless mouse. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 computers total. So, all right, I want to stop making you guys sick. I'm gonna back out here. And let me shut off the. I'll get a better camera and actually plug it in instead of using this wireless cell phone thing with you guys. So, anyways, that just goes to show you. You can hook all that up to one keyboard and mouse, which makes it so cool. Disadvantage, now you can do you can do copy and paste between computers, and that's extremely helpful. For example, somebody sends me a link in the chat room. Well, that's on a different computer. So I could go over and highlight that link, copy it, and then paste it into my browser on my broadcast computer. Hey, Bearcat. They're just regular, like, they're just leather chairs from Office Max. They're okay. They wear out kind of fast. I have a Herman Miller kind of look-alike type of deal that's downstairs in the other office. It works good for guitar when I'm sitting down playing guitar. It's a little too high for the desk setup in here. It doesn't go down quite low enough to get underneath it right stuff. Oh, thanks, Scalpaholic. Appreciate it. InputDirector.com. It's totally free. It's not even ad supported or anything that I know of. Is that an Asus router you have there? Yes, it is Extra 300. How did you know that? How did you know that? It is an Asus. Yeah, and honestly, the chairs that I have aren't bad. They really aren't bad. They whenever I need, you know what? I looked all over the place for nice chairs. And it really depends on, how high your desk is and all that too. But I sat in hundreds of chairs. You really need to spend a good 30 minutes. And like JD says, a Herman Miller, if you can get a Herman Miller chair and if it fits you, you won't go wrong with that. In my case, I got a copy, which is probably made as nicely. It was still a $500 chair. But it just won't go low enough for the office, so I still sit. But it is probably the most comfortable, and it's very similar to Herman Miller. But all of them are different, and everybody's body is different. And I totally agree with JD. It's got to be one of the best investments. It's kind of like a bed. You know what I mean? You need a bed that works for you, and it's one of those things you're going to spend a lot of time in, and it really makes sense to spend it. Yeah, and the Extra 300, I guess you're a new member, so I don't remember seeing you. If you've been around for a long time, I apologize, but I want to say thanks for joining. Thanks for joining Day Trade Radio. And I forget the model on my Asus, but it was a very inexpensive one. I believe it was like $24 at Newegg, and I love it because it has embedded Linux, and you can hack it and do things to it. You can install stuff like MRTG, and have your own graphs and everything for your bandwidth and all. You guys saw some of that on those other screens with the green graphs and stuff. It's some of that going on, not with the network here, but it's going on with the remote servers and stuff at the data centers. Yeah, and also another router I like, and I didn't want to get too far off the subject for screens and screen software and stuff and sharing screen software. Another thing that I have one more computer that I use for audio feeds as well, and it is, and I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but the one that I do Mr. Land's audio feed through the browser on is a IBM, no, I'm sorry, it is a Levino Idea Center. The computer, I swear, is the size of a peanut butter sandwich, and it runs Windows 7 64-bit. And it's slow, yes, but once you get the browser up and you get it streaming what you want, it does its thing. And I use double stick tape, and it's taped to the side of that rack, and it looks literally like this. It's like the size of a small router is what it looks like. And it is an entire Windows 7 based computer. I have two of those, and one of those is not connected to a monitor. I use it to automatically start without a password. It starts and it automatically loads TeamViewer, so I can connect. I could connect to it with Windows Remote Desktop if I wanted. But it automatically, just loads TeamViewer. So I use TeamViewer. I connect to it, and I launch the Benzinga audio source, and that's piped in through my mixer. So I can't see that one unless I pull up TeamViewer to get that one going. And in fact, something's wrong with it, and that's the reason why you haven't heard the Benzinga in a while. The Benzinga through my broadcast. So, Average White Boy, they have. The question is, will those small computers run two monitors? Some of them will, but the ones that I have just have one HDMI port. So it is high definition, HD 1920 by 1080. But the one that I have does not run dual screens. But you can get them like that. And believe it or not, those I got two of those off of eBay for $189 each, with Windows 7 Professional 64-bit. So, and that was almost 2 years ago, probably a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago probably, that I bought those. I got a really good deal on them. And like I said, they're tiny little things. They're called the Idea Center. I can show you a picture. Let me see if I can find one on eBay. They may even have them now. Now, would I trade on these things or run a chat room? Might run the chat room okay. Wouldn't run the video site. I think it'd get too hot and it would start slowing down and stuff. Not quite the resources that you would hope for that. All right, let's see here. It's called an Idea Center. Let me think if I can figure out how to spell. How to spell it? Lenovo. That's it. Now here's somebody's got a motherboard for one for $100. I don't see anything on eBay. Now, let me scroll all the way here. Nope, nothing on eBay today. But I bought these. They're basically, a little microcomputer. Maybe somebody can find one on the net and post this link. Nice. Tommy Blue's got him a Herman Miller chair too. Yeah, if you can get a copy that's basically, identical, it's the design that's great. But you can't go wrong with the real thing as far as quality and how it's going to last. And worth the money. I mean, definitely. And I wish that my office and everything upstairs was set up so I could use them. Yeah, and I've had. Here's another question. I mean, mentioning basically that they're thinking about hooking a 55-inch Samsung TV up to their computer, and wouldn't that do just as good as like one of these double resolution monitors? It depends. You're not going to get higher resolution. You're just going to get everything's going to be blown up and big. The letters on the screen for standard text are going to be 2 inches tall. It's going to allow you to stand back. It's not going to allow you to fit more charts. Don't think that you're going to be, wow, look at all this room. I could put a little 4-inch chart over here 4 times, let's see, all the way across. Man, I could put 50 charts on here. It doesn't work that way. Because the resolution, it's just like you're taking the small monitor you have, the 1080 by 1920 by 1080, and just stretching it and make it larger. The higher resolution screens that we were talking about, like with Prolonged Wealth, Charlie, who emailed in, and the Apple Cinema displays we're talking twice the resolution. So you got twice the real estate on the same screen. Now, if you had a 50-inch monitor or a 50-inch TV that did twice the resolution, that's a different story. So you'd wind up with double resolution, approximately double resolution. So, anybody else have anything they'd like to add tonight? I want to thank Tyke Supply again too. Promo code RPM, 5% extra off on their stands. We're going to have them on the show too as well. Also, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have John Wiggle on from. Actually, he's from Total Server Solutions. A friend of mine who helped found that company and split off from it, doing his own thing again. He wants to talk about industry trends and industry standards and things, open source standards that are being adopted in the cloud computing markets. Me and him are, colleagues, and we work together a lot, and which is cool. Going to finally get to have him on the show, and I look forward to that. Well, thanks, Bearcat. I appreciate it. And again, you guys definitely check out the video that Johnny uploaded, the Market Radar thing that he uploaded there. Video is on YouTube. It's also posted in the shout box. So, wanted to keep this kind of a nice, tight, truncated show. Just covered a couple of video cards. I want someone to please give that one a try. I put the link in the Day Trading Radio forum under the Tech Talk Live, since it was an item that we talked about on Tech Talk Live. If someone has tried that card, let us know how it works for trading. And of course, it's 4 monitors. I was mistaken. I was thinking it was 5, but it'll connect to 4 screens. And just let us know how it works. I mean, it'll work in like a Dell, with a single slot, or an Asus machine with a single slot. You'd have to take out your existing video card if you had an extra video card in there, and drop that one in. What it would give you 4. And if nobody comes to me in the next couple of weeks, I might just go ahead and buy one and give it a shot for us, because I do have a first generation i7 lower line i7 4 gigs of RAM that has a single slot motherboard on it. I might give it a shot, see, and do some testing and everything, and let you guys know. So, hey, appreciate you guys being Day Trading Radio members, hanging out with me. Pretty good turnout tonight, so I appreciate that. Really appreciate your questions and your comments and helping me keep the show going. Please show some love to my sponsor, TykeSupply.com. I want a big shout out to Day Trader Rockstar. Johnny, of course, will let me do the shows, be part of all this. I truly do enjoy it. And I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I might be back on in just a minute after I conclude this program. So stick around. Thanks a lot, everybody. RPM out.